After over 40 years, Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan has reached an unprecedented cultural recognition as it was recently inducted into the National Film Registry. The Library of Congress selected the iconic 1982 sci-fi epic for preservation, acknowledging its outstanding cultural, historic, and aesthetic significance. This recognition marks a milestone for the Star Trek franchise, with The Wrath of Khan being the first movie from the series to earn such an honor. Considered one of the greatest achievements of the Star Trek franchise, The Wrath of Khan has had a lasting impact on both the series and the broader world of pop culture. The film's standout technical contributions, including Nicholas Meyer's direction and James Horner's memorable score, were highlighted by the National Film Registry. Additionally, the portrayal of important themes, such as mortality and the weight of responsibility, solidified the film's legacy. Notably, the emotional climax, where Spock sacrifices himself to save the crew, remains one of the most memorable and significant moments in Star Trek lore. The Wrath of Khan also featured meaningful representation for Latina and LGBTQ+ communities, with Ricardo Montalban's celebrated role as Khan and Merritt Buttrick's portrayal of Kirk's son David. These performances are viewed as significant markers of progress in both cultural representation and storytelling diversity, humanizing the crew of the Enterprise. Before The Wrath of Khan, Star Trek's characters, especially Captain Kirk, were somewhat set in a cyclical pattern of exploration. The original series was built around standalone episodes where the crew ventured into unknown space, typically ending each adventure with little consequence to the character's personal growth. The Wrath of Khan broke from this formula by addressing the passage of time and exploring the consequences of past actions. Kirk, now 50 and in a more settled position, faces the reality of his previous mistakes, most notably his abandonment of Khan. Kirk's confrontation with the villain of the film isn't just one of physicality, but also one of personal reflection. The film delves into Kirk's aging, grappling with past decisions and their long-term impact. Additionally, the gut-wrenching loss of Spock, who dies saving the ship, deeply humanized the franchise's iconic characters and gave audiences a touching and unforgettable portrayal of friendship and sacrifice, opening the door to franchise growth. While Spock's death was temporary, The Wrath of Khan established a new precedent for the Star Trek franchise, allowing characters to evolve with time. This narrative freedom opened the door to new stories, eventually leading to Star Trek: The Next Generation and many of the subsequent installments, both in film and television. The Wrath of Khan proved that Star Trek could evolve into a more complex, mature franchise where characters age, experience losses, and pass on legacies. The film redefined how blockbuster franchises could be approached and had a massive influence on the trajectory of mega franchises, including the Marvel Cinematic Universe and recent Star Wars storytelling. By exploring these deeper themes while still delivering an action-packed summer movie, The Wrath of Khan set a benchmark for how pop culture sagas could intertwine meaningful narrative growth with commercial success. Now streaming on Paramount+, Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan continues to serve as a touchstone for both Star Trek fans and anyone interested in how impactful storytelling can leave a lasting legacy on pop culture.